All right, folks, we are back. Today is Saturday, May 11th, 2024, and we're going to start today's segment with a little bit of what we like to call innuendo news. So this first headline comes out of Japan, which this past week, a search began for a legendary cryptid known as the Tsuchinoko. The annual monster hunt, which featured a staggering 800 participants, was held in the town of Higashi-Shirakawa, where there have been sightings of the curious creature said to resemble a snake with a beer bottle-sized bulge at the center of its body. Shameful display! What do you have for us, Sarah?
Well, I have another one, but thinking of the snakes also reminded me of this story. Snakes almost on a plane. TSA discovers a bag with small snakes in a passenger's pants. Miami airport security officers in Miami found a slithering surprise last week, a bag of snakes hidden in a passenger's pants. According to an ex-post by the Transportation Security Administration, officers at the Miami International Airport found a small bag of snakes hidden in a passenger's trousers on April 26th at the checkpoint. That's all that there is about it. So there was almost snakes on a plane. He had his snake trousers and was taking that seriously. TSA agents like, sir, what do you have in your pants? Oh, it's my snake. Just my snake. Don't worry. You want to touch my snake?
It won't bite. It's a gentle small snake in my trousers.
It's in a bag. I wonder what kind of, the picture, I don't know. I can't tell what kind of snakes they are, but they look like little albino snakes. Some kind of little albino pythons or something.
Me trouser snake.
Trouser snake.
Speaking of cultures that call pants trousers, there's an interesting story that apparently came out of Scotland, which was...
Hold on, let me get that up real quick. Oh, yes, Scotland, which... Funny little backstory. My entire life, I was told I was Italian. Took one of those DNA tests, and I just, for some reason, knew that it would be not Italian. I just felt it. I felt it in my bones. Nope, I'm Scottish. So it makes a whole lot of sense. I'm sure we'll talk more about some of our histories and experiences with some of that. But in Scotland, a Scot was banned from wearing Star Wars costume on trains after passenger mistakes toy for real gun. That's the headline. So the 50-year-old was on his way to a Star Wars convention dressed as a stormtrooper in a kilt when a fellow passenger was spooked by his holstered and fake gun and phoned the police, who dispatched armed officers to the scene. There is a really cool picture of the police with a stormtrooper standing in front of it, and he does have a kilt on. His name was Dan. Dan said he had never before been stopped by the police while in possession of his weapon. A Star Wars fan caused an... it continues, but the story apparently kind of breaks and restarts again. So a Star Wars fan caused a firearm incident when he stepped on a train dressed as a stormtrooper. A panicked passenger called the police. When they spotted Dan Gillespie's fake blaster, which he claims was holstered. He was... It's holstered, man. It's a stormtrooper. The stormtrooper's not going to hit anybody anyways. Like, why would you be afraid of finding a stormtrooper with a gun on a train? Sorry. He was quizzed by a guard before the train ground to a halt and headed back to Aberdeen. Dan revealed he was met by armed cops and was banned from traveling until he got a bag for the toy gun. He claimed he'd he'd been told never to get on the train in his 1,000-pound outfit again, and is considering quitting cosplay for good after the scare.
Wait a minute. 1,000-pound outfit? Is that a typo?
No, that's dollar. It's money, currency.
Sorry.
But I don't know the.
I speak American, so.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be like, it's $1,000, but I don't know what that is in European money.
No, that makes sense, because that would have been like however many kilograms
yes,
or whatever.
Yes, whatever it was. So yes,
this is bullshit. William Wallace did not fight the armies of Edward the Longshanks, so this dude could be chastised for wearing a fucking Star Wars costume.
The gun was holstered, man. It was holstered. Dan, 50, said, "Crazy world we live in. The train stopped not long out of the station. A guard came to chat, asked him about the blaster, and then asked him to go with him for a chat. Apparently, someone reported it to the police. The train went back to Aberdeen. I was met by 2 firearms officers, 3 police Scotlands, and 2 British transport police." According to the Press and Journal, Dan said he was grilled on the train and in the station before he was escorted home by officers. He added, "I had to chat to them all on the train and then in an office. And then they took me home to get a bag for it. And then they took me back to get another train.
What in the hell?
I was asked not to wear stormtrooper armor on the train." Dan has been a familiar sight in the city for more than a decade, patrolling the streets as a Grampian stormtrooper. Sometimes he even wears kilts as part of the outfit, and confessed he loves putting smiles on people's faces. Okay, so you have this local dude who's known for just going around making people happy, dressing as a Scottish stormtrooper, and you're going to ban him from wearing the costume
apparently
on the train.
Oh man, Scotland has become a shit show.
Yeah.
Or so I've heard.
Yeah.
Speaking of freedoms and, things going to shit, one of the interests that Sarah and I have had over many years is examining odd laws around the world. Some that have been on the books for hundreds of years, if not more, depending on where you're at, and some that are recent. Just came across this one, which I thought was just pretty funny as it was. Apparently, in Sweden, it is illegal to spontaneously dance in a restaurant or bar. Owners must adhere to a bygone law and get a dance license.
I hope it's called Footloose tickets. They cut me a Footloose.
Do you have a license for those moves, sir? I just saw you do the Charleston while you were waiting for your fish or whatever they serve in Sweden.
So do even all businesses? Like if you walk into a chocolatier shop,
no,
you have to have a license.
Well, apparently it just says restaurants and bars, so it's that's it's sort of discriminatory as far as I'm concerned. So I can spontaneously dance in a china shop with little glass statues. No problem there. I don't need a license. But if I'm around food or drinks, that's a no.
Here's one from Scotland. Did not know this, but it's good to know. You must open your toilet to the public. In Scotland, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Even if that means going into random Scottish people's houses and using their bathrooms. In Scotland, an old law states that if a stranger knocks on your door asking to relieve themselves in your toilet, you are required to let them in. Or to let them. Nowadays, it's more polite custom than enforced law, but it's still very much on the books. Also illegal in Scotland. Wearing underwear underneath your kilt. You will be fined 2 beers.
That's hefty. Okay, so let me get this straight. I have the convenience, obviously, of not taking off my underwear.
Yes.
But I walk up to some person's house, a random person's house. I gotta take a massive piss, and I might just have a really big cable toss.
Well, come on in, sir.
Wait,
You have underwear under your kilt. I'm calling the police.
That'll be 2 beers. No less than 2 beers.
These are my people.
So some law on the books in, of course, Alberta, Canada. Rats aren't allowed to enter the province of Alberta, Canada. Even as pets. They are considered pests that destroy crops and spreads disease. And a rat control program has kept them at bay since the 1950s. So I'm just curious what this is all about. Like, how do they explain to these rats what this law is about? They pull them into a room and have some kind of rat interpreter. Well, if he works for Trudeau, he's probably a rat. But
Yes, how are you going to enforce this? They call him Master Splinter. He speaks to his people.
Konnichiwa, hello, Ratzi. I am here to explain what this is all about. Please remain calm.
With their floppy heads. Maybe that's what they do. They scare them with their floppy heads out of the town. like St. Patrick chased the snakes.
That's right.
Chase the rats with their floppy heads.
They probably have the patron saint of rat chasers.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they probably have Mounties, and this is their whole job, just to patrol the streets
for
rat patrol. Do you know who you're talking to? I'm on the rat patrol, eh? God. Fucking Canada.
Oh, blame Canada. Blame Canada. Oh, so in Switzerland, did you know after 10 p.m. flushing the loo is more than just a taboo? It's against the law. It's considered noise pollution if you're pregnant, have little kids who need to go, or your stomach is upset. Apparently, you're out of luck until the morning. Also illegal in Switzerland, relieving yourself as a man standing up after 10 p.m., leaving your car keys in the car with your door open, hanging clothes to dry on Sunday, washing your car on Sunday, and alpining in the nude.
Okay, so being nude in public is not illegal, but if you're hiking, your junk is swinging in the natural breeze.
Yes, it cannot exist with nature. It can only exist within mankind.
Oh, this is a good one. It is a crime to be annoying in the Philippines.
Oh my gosh.
The offense of, quote, unjust vexation, in quote, deliberately upsetting another person is punishable by a prison sentence of up to 30 days or a fine or both. Guess I'm not going to the Philippines because just the fact that I can't speak the language, I would probably be busted in. Come with me, Randy. Like 5 minutes in. I'm like, dude, all I was trying to tell him is that I don't want uncooked meat on the uncooked meat.
Right. That's all. Well, also chewing gum is illegal in Singapore. It has a nationwide ban on both gum and chewing gum since 1992. There is just one exception to this law. You are allowed to chew gum if you can prove that you're using it for medicinal purposes. Other than that, bringing a stick of Trident into the country will put you in a very sticky situation with authorities. Apparently, they take it very seriously. Also illegal in Singapore, cigarettes, peeing in an elevator, and walking around your house in the nude. How are they going to know if you're walking around your house in the nude?
No.
Like, who's enforcing these? That's, and again, like, what was it that, do you ever wonder who was the cause behind these laws? Who was the dumbass that so fucked things up that they were like, no, we're making a law against that. Steve, I am tired of you walking around in the nude in front of the window. You know my kids look right into your window. Okay, fuck it. We're going to make it illegal. We're making it illegal. Nobody can be naked.
Well, apparently,
like the naked
just,
hiking.
They just went one step further, and they're like, if we're even remotely vexed, you're going to jail. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
How do you get medical gum? like Nicorette or something, but cigarettes are illegal, so you know.
Crush out some aspirin or something and be like, no, this is asprigum.
That's how you get your Mars attacks.
Yeah.
Because they chew the gum to help, like, with the oxygen that they need.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you remember the scene, like, the lady, that's how she was walking around, because she had that little gum that she was chewing.
I had no
That's what she was
idea
chewing
that's
the
why
whole
she was
time.
doing
Yeah.
that. How did you figure this out? Is it in the movie that they talk about why she's chewing gum?
I don't know. I just always assumed it was.
Wow, that's like some Stephen Hawking fucking, like, theoretical shit right there.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just always assumed that it was.
But
that
maybe I am right.
We come in peace.
Well, I think we've had enough of dumb laws in the world, because laws are dumb, period,
Well, hold on,
to a
here's
certain
one.
degree. But
So this one is coming from Italy. Grabbing your crotch. This one will drive a lot of men nuts. You can't adjust your family jewels in Milan, or you'll come to grips with a hefty fine. It's not just public masturbation that's illegal there, but adjusting, tugging, or even grabbing your junk for luck are also finable offenses. Women, on the other hand, are exempt from this law. It might be sexist, but it's written into the penal code, so ladies, have at it.
what do you mean?
Also,
It called it the penal code. I can adjust the penal. I mean, it's called the penal code in tape.
Also illegal in Italy, dying in the village of Falciano de Maschio and wearing a skirt if you're a man.
Those are my people.
You can't die here. You can't die here. It's illegal.
You cannot do the dying. No. The dying is wrong.
No, you cannot die here. You must go down there if you want to do the dying. You cannot do it over here.
How the fuck are they going to enforce this?
Like, does their family get charged to file? Like, it's not my fault.
Well, you know,
I died there.
They were fascists. Sounds like some fascist shit to me. Not all Italians, and again, that's my people, so I can say whatever I want.
It's not my people, but I thought it was my people. For
Of course,
a very
I've made fun
long
of
time.
all other ethnicities in this podcast, so. But those I really can do it with. But yes, weirdness all over, and it always will be that way. It seems that's just the scope of humanity, as it were. But I did want to ask you this: in entertainment news, it's been obviously a long time coming now about the Crystal Lake Memories show, the prequel Friday the 13th show that was supposed to at least have one season airing on Peacock, and apparently it has been indefinitely suspended. There's some conflicting reports about that. One of the showrunners said that maybe that's not the case. I'm not exactly sure, but obviously nothing's happened with it for a while, so it seems likely that is not going to happen. I wanted to get your thoughts on that, because honestly, thinking about it conceptually, I don't really know how it's going to work. I guess unless it just follows Pamela being a serial killer for the whole thing, and then, you know, I don't know. I'll get your thoughts on that. But the only reason I was, excuse. The only reason I was interested in it really is because, like, I was hyped because you're such a big Friday the 13th fan. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, something new coming out, you know, and
Yeah.
my wife can watch it, and then we can watch it together, and it's just something for you to potentially get excited about. But like so many good things that may potentially happen, it apparently isn't going to happen. So anyway, what are your thoughts on that entire thing? And like, how would you do it if you did it? You know, what are your thoughts?
How would I do it if I did it? Well, this is what I was kind of hopeful for, and I knew that they were working on it, and I was very excited about it. But whenever things like that are coming up, I try and avoid reading anything about it. So I actually hadn't heard that it was being canceled until you mentioned it. Just because I don't want to like get any spoilers or anything like that, you know, or go into it like with something in mind just because of who's been cast in it or whatever. So I try and avoid that with things like that. I don't know, it's different with movies, but I was just really excited for it. I was thinking that they would have Jason as like a child and like show his camp experience and like what the torment he went through and how he was, teased and bullied, picked on there, whatever, ignored, all of those things that they just never really dove into the movies. And then maybe like kind of towards the end, tying in somehow where the connection of like, his mom, Ms. Voorhees, gets involved. And I don't know. Because like with his story, it's so odd because obviously in the first movie, he's not the killer. She's the killer. She's doing it because they let her boy drown at the camp. But when the second one comes out, nobody ever really understands, like, how did he come to exist? How did he come to be? Why is he now this fully grown man that's just, so for me, I always kind of like connected a weird thought in my head, and it's obviously not the case, but it was like, oh, well, if I was going to connect those stories of how it happened, was that after when he drowned, she made some kind of like deal with the devil or something along those lines. Something kind of supernatural happens, whatever it is that she does, where she's trying to like summon him, like she's trying to get a power so that she can get her revenge for her son. But when she dies, somehow that power goes to him, of whatever it was, because of the love that she had for him and the loss of, think about it. If one of our kids died, like, there's no ends to the earth that I would go to ensure that the person responsible for their death was met with a revenge. Right. So it's like, I can see, like, it's like a mother's revenge. And I think that, wasn't that what it was supposed to be called? A Mother's Revenge? And then they
Something
changed
like
it?
That.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it does. It makes complete and total sense. But that also the love and the bond would still be there, that it would go to the spirit of his that was still at Crystal Lake, because she couldn't let go of his spirit, just somehow trying to tie it all in together and slowly moving into that towards the finale of season 1 is kind of what I was hopeful for the series to be.
That makes sense. Yeah. And it sounds cool. So from what you remember, because we did watch all of them, I don't know, somewhat recently, and I had never seen all of them before, but you're kind of the resident expert on it. So from what I remember, there isn't, in any of the iterations, there isn't an explanation for his powers, right?
Right. Nothing that.
Not like, okay, for example, like with Freddy Krueger, they did eventually was like, oh, okay, he made a pact with the dream demons, and that's why, which, honestly, I kind of liked.
Yeah.
And with Freddy Krueger, because they did it so much later.
Yeah.
That it was like, okay, well, this kind of makes sense. But with Jason, even with honestly,
his origin made sense because he was a grown man who was living at one point and had been burned, by the community and all of that. So like, he still kind of had a story of why he would be who he is, where Jason didn't have a story to be who he was.
Sorry to interrupt.
To go from a boy to a man.
And talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, we are not even considering the remake, the freaking. Ugh. Yeah, no, that's just gone.
That does not exist.
So, yeah, we're not.
Stopped at Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I am not. Which is a great movie. Yes. Anybody hasn't seen? Yes. If you're a comic book fan and or horror fan or both, Freddy versus Jason is actually excellent.
It really is. It's exactly what you would expect from Freddy versus Jason.
But as far as the remake goes, no even remotely sympathetic Freddy here. That just doesn't work. Now, with Jason, on the other hand, obviously, as you've stated many times, he is a sympathetic character.
Yes, he is.
And so it's like, to me, because of that, I think that it's better that they keep his origin or his powers ambiguous. To me, it just it's now I can't remember if Rob Zombie did kind of an origin story, because honestly, I've only seen that maybe 1.5 times, and I was like, I don't really want to watch this because it's just so, dude. Rob Zombie is an extremely talented individual. Don't get me wrong. I saw him at Ozfest, 99. Yes, that was a long time ago. And man, his show kicked ass.
Yeah.
Like he opened for Ozzy with Sabbath, with
Yeah.
the original members of Sabbath. So I got to see Sabbath, and it was fucking awesome. But like his show was really kick ass, and I'm not even really into his tunes that much, but I do like some of the original stuff that he's done, like Devil's Rejects and things like that. I mean, it did have a grindhouse kind of feel, but that's Rob Zombie, right? Like that's fine.
Yeah.
But the other remakes that he's done, like again, I can't remember if there was any kind of origin to his powers, because correct me if I'm wrong, in his Halloween remake, he basically made Michael Myers a fucking super soldier. Like he's like Captain America, the horror villain.
Pretty much.
And it was like,
pretty much.
It just,
it was, I don't really think that there was a specific origin. I mean, the only origin that anybody's ever had with it is just that he drowned in the lake due to the lack of responsibility for the camp counselors because they were off partying. So he's just gonna, send them to Jesus a little sooner than they expected.
Like Charles Bronson.
He's out there doing the Lord's work. So again, you feel sympathy for him. He's
I don't disagree. I mean, and from what I understand, well, no, I'm wrong about that. I was about to say, from what I understand, like if you don't come onto Crystal Lake Campground, you're pretty much safe. But that's not true because motherfucker went to New York.
He's gone to space. He's been to space.
Honestly, Jason X is underrated.
It is. I would agree. I would agree.
I get it, for purists or whatever. If you can be a Friday the 13th purist, I don't know how you could be because every movie, everything changes. But they, everybody's like, this is so stupid. I liked it. I really did.
I did too. I mean, there's been ones that I've been underwhelmed with, but there haven't been any that I've just completely hated. Like, I don't know.
If memory serves me correctly, my favorite by far is 6.
Where he's resurrected?
Yes.
Yeah.
They go to the graveyard. It's awesome.
It is really cool. That is a good one.
That's like pinnacle to me.
It is. And just his look in the movie is.
Was that the first one Kane Hodder was in, or maybe the second? I don't know. Kane Hodder is the definitive Jays.
I agree. He got screwed.
Yeah.
He got screwed on that.
When Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, big time.
Yep. They can't
like
justify
the motherfucker
that.
he's not. It's not like Jason is agile. So they apparently from that Kane Hodder documentary that we watched, the entire justification was that he wasn't tall enough, which is bullshit, obviously, because there was some other behind the scenes crap going on. But like, it's not like Jason is very mobile. You can't put him on like platforms or something. I mean, hell, right. Tom Cruise does it every movie.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, but Tom Cruise can be Reacher, but Kane Hodder's
Tom Cruise can't reach the freaking
salt
on the top of a table.
He can't get the cereal off the top shelf in the grocery store. I know this for a fact because I can't either. He has to do that little awkward climb to get up there.
In the fucking grocery store. This is serious business.
Why? They're on the top shelf.
I want grape nuts. Why are they on the top shelf? People's jobs are at stake. Get it together. Do you know who I am? Dude, Christian Bale and Tom Cruise need to do a movie together and it needs to be intentionally a very frustrating production just so they can get into an argument and the internet can laugh for the next decade because it would be epic. Fucking Christian Bale versus Tom Cruise. Yes. Pompous actors arguing about pompous things.
Yes.
Dude, it'd be excellent.
I agree. Oh gosh. So yeah, I'm disappointed that the series is not going to happen. I've been feeling that there's been a missing Jason lately, like they keep redoing Halloween and ruining that. Oh my gosh, the freaking last
man,
one. Oh.
dude. That and
The last Halloween?
oh man, it was so terrible. Like Halloween Kills was fucking dope.
It was. They should have left it at that.
That actually is my favorite Halloween.
I would have to agree, actually.
It was awesome. But yeah, that one favorite branch of science.
Marine biology?
Very specific. Dolphins are clapping and seals are going. It's like a fucking gorilla seal hybrid,
Seals
but
are so cute.
He'll rip your face off, man.
They will. I know.
Just like koalas. Have you ever seen a mean koala?
Oh,
dude,
they're freaking scary. They're scary.
Looks like something that like freaking belong in Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah.
Just jumps out of a tree and attacks hobos. Hobo. What is hobbits? Hobbits are stupid. Samwise Gamgee comes running over to Frodo Hobo. It's like, get off my friend! That fucking koala turns around and goes. Samwise turns into Rudy again and goes running 350 yards.
I can't carry you. Sorry.
God, those movies are boring.
Oh, yes, they are. Sorry.
Now they're doing another one.
Oh.
Man, I get it. All right, I get it. There's lots of Lord of the Rings fans out there, but man, it's a fucking walking simulator. Like I really, really liked Fellowship of the Ring, the first one.
Yes,
it was awesome.
It was good. It was.
But
really
like,
good.
man, I mean, after that, it was like Two Towers was a slog, and then by the time, for me anyway, when it got to the Return of the King, I was like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Oh, Aragorn is the king? Oh. I liked him better when he was a fucking Strider.
Yeah.
You know? he was cooler. Like, this is all that kind of stuff. But whatever. Yeah, I get it. It was, as the fan in Clerks 2 said, a monumental achievement.
A monumental achievement.
But Randall was right too, where he was like, oh, that's the best part of that movie.
It is. I agree.
But yeah, now they're doing another one, and I'm sure it's going to be theatrically 3 hours and 20,000 minutes,
yes.
and then the director's cut will be another like infinitum minutes. No, man, it's just not my thing. Because, dude, The Hobbit, I couldn't even watch it. Because, I mean, it was Lord of the Rings all over again,
was.
right?
That's exactly what it was.
Which obviously is part of the deal, but he was even more so like, oh,
yeah,
this is taking forever. Anyway, that's enough lamenting over Lord of the Rings, because we all know the best freaking fantasy film ever made is Conan the Barbarian. I mean, it's what it is. They hear the lamentations of the winds. Okay.
What's the next question?
Oh, sorry, we were still doing rapid musket. My musket needed cleaning. Favorite canine species?
Mastus.
Okay. What is the deal? You may know this, may not know this, with the I don't even know if it's real, but just like in cartoons and shit, obviously I've seen it, or in pictures, with the little beer keg, the little barrel being under a Saint Bernard's chin. Is that like a real thing? Do you know?
Yeah, that's actually, I think, because they would use them for rescue, like when there were avalanches or things like that. They were like snow dogs, and a lot of times they carried whiskey. to help warm the person up.
Okay.
Because they could actually dig, so they were kind of the first ones to get into it because they could dig so much faster through the snow. And without like shoveling somebody in the head, basically. So they would have the dogs dig, and sometimes they could burrow in and like, yeah.
So they were carrying whiskey.
That's I believe so. That's what I remember having read about that.
Good dog, good old Saint Bernards.
Yeah, bringing in some hooch. That hooch has some hooch.
Old Beethoven.
Hooch has the hooch.
Wait, was Cujo a Saint Bernard or a Mastiff?
Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Cujo. Cujo was scarier than Christine, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the more kind of realistic of the possibilities of movies tie directly into how much I am actually like scared of them. Like I know they're being jerks.
Weird thing it's always been a weird thing to me, like, is when I see movies where like an actor that an actor was known for, I see that movie after I've seen them in something else. For example, like talking about Christine.
Yes.
Right? Like first time I saw it, dude, was in Legend of Billie Jean.
Yes, yeah, Legend of Billie Jean. It was weird.
So it's almost like Lloyd Lloyd is in Christine, not
right.
not the other way around. Where's Billie Jean? Where is Binks? Like I mean, if I was Binks, I would have, took the L with the whole, hey, leave it front face.
Yeah.
Got my scooter stolen and traded that bitch in for Christine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Binks might have actually made it to Colorado. Now he would have swerved off the roads, or no, Vermont is where they were going, right?
I believe, yes. What
the fuck goes to Vermont? Where were they? California or Texas? I think they were in Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. Shout out to The Legend of Billie Jean, which
great
is, if
movie.
anyone has not seen The Legend of Billie Jean, watch it. It's awesome.
It absolutely is. It's
got freaking Lisa Simpson in it and all kinds of other people. Freaking the star from such classics as Gleaming the Cube.
The Slaters.
Yeah. It's awesome. So check it out. But you know that is inevitably, but I can't talk. Inevitably. How do you say this word? What? Inevitably. Fuck that word. Ultimately, there's gonna be a remake of that.
I know.
And it's gonna be
inevitable.
Trash.
It's gonna be.
It is
total
inevitable.
Trash. I know. They're gonna ruin it.
Man, it's gonna happen. And that, my friends, is the day that the music will surely die.
I might be on board with a John Waters remake of it.
Oh my goodness.
If it has to be done, like let's just say if it has to be done, if it's inevitable and it's gonna happen.
Oh. I'm trying here. Okay, so what if let's say that John Waters directed it, the script to me would have to be about people taking that movie and putting it on stage in a theatrical production. That's what the movie would be about.
Yeah.
It would be about those people taking The Legend of Billie Jean, making it into a play, and whatever they're going through with that, while obviously showing some of the scenes, reenacted scenes
right.
from the film. That could work.
Yeah.
Especially with John Waters.
Yeah.
But just a full-on remake, no.
Yeah. I don't want a remake.
I don't want any remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
For that.
I'm tired of the remakes.
Yep. Me too. Well, I think we have rambled enough. Thank you all, folks, for letting your ears and souls and minds enjoy in perpetuity the S&M podcast. I am Matt.
And I am Sarah.
And folks, if you don't remember anything, remember this one thing. Why don't you do yourself, be yourself, and don't let anyone poo yourself. This is Matt signing out. No, that wasn't what I was going to say. I had a slogan. It was Do yourself. No, stop doing yourself. It was no.
Stop doing yourself.
It was. This is it.
There's the slogan.
This is it.
Stop doing yourself.
That may work. Worst outro ever. No, it was. Do you be you, but don't let anyone play you. We're signing off for tonight. I'm Matt. She is
Sarah.
Y'all have a good one. Later.